they come to the 8th ball, and California Chrome is absolutely sensational. California Chrome shines bright in the Kentucky Derby.
Will take charge is surging, and it's a photo finish. It's too close to call.
African Story wins the Dubai World Cup.
Macho Man!
Broadcasting live from the Capital OTB studios, this is Racing Across America with Seth Merrow.
Good morning. Welcome to the Thursday edition of Racing Across America. I'm Seth Merrow. Thanks for joining us. A little bit later on, we will be joined by Ron Nicoletti from Gulfstream Park. Get some thoughts on Gulfstream action for this afternoon. Look back to the nice stakes card they had last Saturday and forward to the Hurricane Birdie for this Saturday. Also be joined a little bit later on by Frank Miramati, Oaklawn Park. Some thoughts on Oaklawn for this afternoon. Again, a little look back, a little look forward with him as well. But right here at the top of the show, happy to be joined by Brian Spencer from the Fairgrounds. Good morning, Brian.
Hey, good morning, Seth. How are you?
Very good. Happy to have you on board. And again, a little bit earlier than usual. We appreciate your accommodating us. We're going to have some Dubai races on the show. I'll tell people about 10:20. We'll have race number 2 from Dubai. Folks will be able to watch that. And about 10:55, just at the end of the show, we'll show race number 3 today, which is the UAE 2000 Guineas. And then after the show, of course, the rest of the Dubai card will be on the network as well. Brian, for folks who are going to play Fairgrounds this afternoon, what's the weather look like?
It's sunny. It's nice. We've had a good sort of nice week here, so hoping everything should be all set for the turf course, all set for a fast main track as we get set for a very long week of racing here as we're racing all the way through Mardi Gras on Tuesday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you get Mardi Gras coming up. Very good. So things are hot and heavy down there in New Orleans and at the Fairgrounds. Let's get some thoughts for this afternoon. We'll kick things off taking a look at race number 2. Second race today, maiden special weight event for fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. They're on the grass at about a mile. How did you see the second race today?
It's really more of a play against the morning line favorite, Labruna Forte. She's been favored a lot in her career. She's a 10-star maiden. She's always right there, but doesn't get over the top. But the number 1, Bunea, second-time starter here, debuted out of the Danny Pipes barn. Not a barn that generally sends them super live at first asking. Showed some good pace that day. Just wasn't able to hang at the final yard. I think that with the rail draw, probably going to force Chris Brochure's hand to show a little bit of pace here, and potentially with a slight move forward in this second trip to post, I think she's going to be tough as maybe the second choice on the board.
Yeah, I like that. I always look at a race like that where a horse shows some speed and then fades a little bit in the career debut as maybe providing a good foundation to move forward off of. So, 7-2 on the morning line, so maybe a little bit of value there in the second to complete your daily double. Sixth race this afternoon. An optional claimer, 20 tags. There's a starter allowance at the 10 level. These are fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. Again, about a mile on the grass.
Yeah, and the only bad thing here is that Little Face was re-entered for a race on the Friday card, so I'm guessing that she's going to scratch out of this spot, which probably doesn't help the price. But number 12, Fine Essay, I think is going to be in a perfect spot, dropping in class into an easier spot after facing a pretty tough group last time. She chased home Note Dioro, and that one came back to win the Marie Krantz. Wide draw, I don't think is going to be too much of an issue. I think Florent Giroux should be able to get a pretty good trip out of her, and there's a lot of pace signed on in here still, even if Little Face comes out. And I just think the trip is going to suit as well as the move into this level for Fine Essay.
Very good. Now let's look out race number 7 this afternoon. A calendar condition claimer at the $5,000 level. These are Louisiana breds, 4-year-olds and up, going a mile and 70.
Probably trying to get a little bit too cute with this one, but the number 5, Delightful Angel, I think is worth a little bit of a look. She's coming off a really poor try when she was last beaten almost 40 lengths last time out, but a couple things that could potentially be excuses. One, it was over a sloppy track, and I don't think she's really I don't think he rather is really at his best in the off-going. And also, if you look back a little further in his form, he's gone through these kind of off-form cycles before where he runs a couple of good races and then tails off with a really bad one. But generally speaking, he bounces back soon afterwards, and maybe he'll be able to work out a decent forward trip here, and the price is going to be much better than it was the last 2 times out. We'll see if he can bounce back.
And talk a little bit about the 5-pound apprentice on board.
That's Mitchell Murrow, who has actually really just been, riding a lot better than his numbers would indicate. He's 9% on the meet, but, generally is getting a lot of his rides on longer shots in these lower price claiming races, Louisiana-bred races, but I think that he's been really one to watch. He's gotten a lot out of some horses that are not much so far to meet a couple of those long shot winners where he's rallied from off the pace have been with Mitchell Merle aboard.
Yeah, and he's, as you say, 9%, but he's putting up pretty similar numbers, second and third place as well. So he's on the board quite a bit. And as you know, with these 5-pound apprentices, particularly, you know, you got a pretty good jockey colony down there this winter. So he winds up with some horses that maybe aren't as logical. So I think, you know, the numbers he's putting up for a 5-pound apprentice at a meet like that, that says, you know, when you wind up with him on one of your horses, you probably can have a little bit of confidence and hopefully get a little bit of a price. Brian, before we let you go, I've been asking everybody this week. We had a big weekend of excuse me, racing last weekend. Of course, now at the fairgrounds, you've got the great 3-year-old trail that will be keyed into over the next couple of months, and there's the nice older division as well. But across the country last weekend, just as horse racing fans, we had some races that play into the 3-year-old and the older division. And I'll just ask your thoughts this weekend out of Santa Anita. What did you think of Dortmund, and what did you think of Shared Belief in California Chrome?
I think Dortmund is just really sharp right now. I think that he showed a lot of heart there. He may have also been catching firing line, maybe at a distance that he doesn't necessarily want to go. We'll see if he was getting tired, but either way, you know, to be able to battle back that way up the inside after getting past, I think there was a lot to like there. He's obviously going to be very tough going forward. And Shared Belief, California Chrome, you know, as a fan, that's just a great thing to see, is these two were able to square off. But Shared Belief, he's just such a great horse, and Mike Smith sort of puts him in the race at the exact right time. I really enjoyed that race, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, you know, what those guys can do the remainder of this year.
Yeah, to have something like this, you know, this early in February is a lot of fun. I think it's shaping up. The 3-year-old season, I think, is very good, and as I said, we'll see more of that at fairgrounds as we progress over the next few weeks, and the older division as well, and some of those players will be at fairgrounds also. But it is boding well for a very good 2015. Absolutely looking forward to it. Brian, as always, we appreciate the visit this morning. Good luck this afternoon, and we'll talk to you next week.